Hello and welcome to Mountain Patriot Homestead. Today, I don't have my apron on, but I am in the kitchen with my Easter bonnet because yes, it is Easter or Resurrection Day. Whichever way you celebrate it, I wish you a most happy and blessed one. And today we are going to be making a recipe, a very simple recipe in honor of this day that is really a great way to share the story of the resurrection with your children. So let's get started. I have switched out my bonnet for a cap, which I'm a little more comfortable in. And now let's talk a little bit about this recipe. Today's recipe is called Resurrection Rolls. And when it's completed, you'll see why we call it that and why children are going to find this especially interesting because it's something a little unexpected. Now, there are 5 ingredients, that's it, and it's nothing you really have to do any mixing or preparation for. Just pretty much going to the store, because the first thing I'm starting out with is a tube of store-bought crescent rolls, and this is 8 rolls or 8 pieces of pastry in this tube. The next is marshmallows, some cinnamon sugar, and some butter that I've got melting on the stove, and that's it. And let's show you just how easy it is to put all of this together. So I've started out by preheating my oven to 350 degrees. I have my silicone sheet in the bottom of my baking pan, and you can use parchment paper if you want to. Let's put all this together now. The first part is simple, as in the second and third. And with the first part, all you do is take the crescent roll dough out of the tube, lay it out, and we've got it divided up here. Now let's work on our marshmallows. Right, with this step, we just roll the marshmallow around in the melted butter, then roll it around in that good old cinnamon sugar. And this cinnamon sugar is so easy to put together. It's 1/4 cup of sugar to about 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Now, this is a little bit more than that because what I do is I keep this made up. I keep cinnamon sugar made up because sometimes in the evenings we like to make cinnamon toast as a snack around here. So I am just going to put that marshmallow right here in the large portion of that pastry, and I'm going to repeat with the rest of those until I have all of those laid out, 1 per pastry. So this is going to be making 8 rolls. I know y'all are probably better at math than me, so you already had that figured out. So if you want to make more, just get more tubes and make up as many of these as you like. The hardest part about this recipe is keeping a certain someone from eating all the marshmallows before I make the recipe. But since he knew that this was for a special recipe that I was making up, they were spared. I cannot say the same about another package, but it was kind of my sacrifice package, so that was okay. So I'm just rolling this around until I get a good coating on this. Now the recipe for this usually calls for unsalted butter. All I had was salted butter, so that's what I'm using. There's not enough salt in it to really make much of a difference. So that was okay by me. So I'm going to continue this until I get all of these marshmallows, all 8 of them, onto my pastry, and then we'll go to the next step. Right, with this part, I am just going to start rolling them up and pinching in my edges as we go, because what I don't want to happen is as this cooks, I don't want any of the goodness on the inside to leak out on the outside. So just come in there and just pinch those edges off. See? You don't want to leave no holes. And if some does happen to come out, you know, it's not the end of the world, okay? This is, cooking is supposed to be fun. And when things aren't fun, you just, why do them? So there we go. Got it all sealed up. See there? It's okay if you have cinnamon on the outside, because, you know, in the end, we're going to have more cinnamon on the outside anyway. So here we go. And this dough is very pliable and stretchable. So if you need to stretch it to get it to fit better, you go right on ahead, because it's pretty forgiving. And just come in here, pinch that, fold that, just keep working at it. There you go. Just get it all closed up. There we go. And you're just going to continue on with each one of these until you get it all done. Now, I know most of you are probably familiar with the resurrection story, but in case you're not, because I know we have people from all around the world that watch videos, and from all different cultures, all different religions. The resurrection story is from my Christian religion, or my Christian beliefs, that believe that, sorry, bump the camera, that Jesus Christ was born of the Virgin Mary, and that he is the Son of God, and that when he was 33 years old, he was tried and sentenced to be crucified. He was crucified, and as the prophets had foretold, he would rise again in 3 days. And Easter Sunday, that is celebrated in the Christian religion, is celebrated as the day that Jesus was resurrected, or that he resurrected from his tomb and saved those who believe in him and give them everlasting life, eternal life, to be in the presence of the Father after our time on earth here is done. And so when we speak of resurrection, that is the resurrection we're speaking of. And these rolls, when we get them done, are going to be a symbol of that resurrection. And I'm going to show you what that looks like as soon as we get these all finished. The dough is starting to cool. I say cool, it's not cooling, it's starting to warm. And so it's getting a little sticky. So you have to work faster if you need to. Either that or you're just going to be a little sticky, but that's okay. It's working. See there, we're just getting them all sealed up. And I'll space these out. I'm just trying to keep them within camera so you can see what I'm doing. I'm sure by now you've got the gist of it, and you know what I'm doing here. All right, one more to go. We're going to pop these in the oven for about 12 minutes, and then we'll bring them out and we're going to put a little bit of a glaze on them using that leftover butter and cinnamon. So don't toss that away because we're going to be using that up. We're not going to throw it. So this one is our last one. Trying to get him all sealed up because he's trying to fight me on it, but that's okay. We're gonna do it. There we go. All right, and I'm just gonna kind of spread these out because I want them to have room to rise and get all good. So I'm gonna stick these in the oven. The oven's ready, and let's get these browned up. And we have these out of the oven. Now there are two kind of ways. See the cinnamon sugar that's still in this melted butter from earlier. As I was saying, there are two kind of ways that you can finish these off. Probably more if you get creative. One way is what we're doing right here, and that is buttering the tops of these and using that leftover cinnamon and sugar to dust the top. You could also make a powdered sugar glaze by using powdered sugar and heavy cream, and maybe if you want to put a little almond extract or vanilla in it and just make a powdered sugar glaze like you would for cinnamon rolls on top of this. You could do that. See some of that marshmallow creeping out right there. And then I have me one already stuck over here on a plate. I'm going to do the same thing too. Okay. And I'm going to come back in here. And if you had a way to, I'm just going to, pardon the fingers, folks, but this is my easiest way, short of, if I had a shaker that I could put this in and just shake it out, this would work wonderfully as well. I would not suggest picking them up right now to dip them in the cinnamon sugar because they are screaming hot. They just come out of the oven, and if there's any of that marshmallow on the outside, it's going to be sticking to your fingers, and I would not be responsible for what you might say. So there we go. I'm just going to use that up. Like I said, you can make this a whole lot more pretty if you wanted to, just using a shaker or something to that effect. If you've got kids helping you with this, though, I suggest you just let them get in there with their little washed hands and just enjoy and get their little fingers dirty. You know, because if you're going to get your fingers dirty, cinnamon sugar is a good way to start. So there we go. And that is what they look like with the cinnamon sugar on top. Now, here is why they're called resurrection rolls. They are, like I said, still hot, so I'm not just going to stick my fingers in there and do this, but you could. But when you open it up, see, it's hollow inside. That marshmallow has melted away and left it hollow inside, like the empty tomb. And that's why they're called resurrection rolls. See there? Kind of pretty, aren't they? I am going to have a taste. So there you go, resurrection rolls. Easy, delicious, and have a meaning behind them that you are welcome to ask more questions about. You can always email me at the email address that's in the description if you want to know more. But give these a try. I guarantee you, no matter what time of year you fix these, they are going to be delicious. Another little trick that you can do is just a little square of chocolate underneath that marshmallow when you seal it all up, and you've got a s'more. So There you go. I hope you have a wonderful day. I love y'all. Mountain Patriot Homestead, signing out.